How's it going, VC? Hope everybody's doing well. Let's cheer to the weekend. I'm sure it's well deserved for all of you. So today I'm gonna share with you guys, no surprise, few punk rock records. I was not planning on doing this, but thankfully my good friend Ruben, just remind me there was about time for me to put some content out here. I've been not lacking on motivation, but don't feel creative at all. And doing these videos that I've been doing, A to Z's and decades and stuff like that, that thing is really time consuming. So, but I love doing this. I love to share with you out there the music that I like. But time gets in the way sometimes. And also I'm one of those creatures that gets bored pretty easily. So anyways, that's a personal aspect I'll have to work on. But any of you out here, any of my subscribers or people that watch my channels, if you guys have any contests, anything going on, even any ideas that you think I can pull the trigger at, tag me along, or let me know what you'll like to see. And that will be helpful for me to be more consistent into showing content. So today, initially I was planning on doing like 15 classic hardcore albums that I think everybody should have, but I'm probably gonna do my top 100 hardcore records of all time. I probably will, but I was not feeling it, and I just decided to show records that are well known. I will consider the big majority of these like essential in any punk rock collection, classics, absolute classics. But this is pretty much things that I've been listening more recently. Anyways, so no more rambling. In no particular order, I'm gonna show 10 records that I think they're all great. But let me put it out here that some of these records, those are not records that you can skip through tracks and get a full feel understanding for what this music is all about. You really need to put yourself through the pain and torture of listening these records to get it. I made that mistake myself many times throughout the years. It's listen to bits and pieces, like it's not really my thing, and down the road, well, how dumb was I? This is phenomenal. This is a masterpiece. This is fantastic. But anyways, so everything that I'm sharing, nothing is like catchy, like they will be blown away if not familiar with it, with just bits and pieces. You really need to put some time, listen to it, and go from there. And that's what I encourage you to do. So as I've been listening to a lot of hardcore lately, one of my favorite records from England, 1985, on Children of Revolution Records, The Stupids, Peruvian Vacation. This is classic UK hardcore. If you're familiar with another subgenre, this is all rock and roll, but you know, bands such as Ripcord, Heresy, Stupids, even Extreme Noise Terror, you know, they kind of are the main references of the UK hardcore, which is like the mid 80s British hardcore post the UK 82 sound. This is classic. This is fast, furious hardcore, often referred to as skate rock, and it's fantastic. It's phenomenal. And one thing that I didn't mention, but I have to mention about every single record I'm showing today, there's quite a bit of hardcore here. These guys can play. You know, those bands, they're all accomplished musicians. It's not like that basic stripped down early hardcore formula. This is great musicianship, and this is an excellent example of that. And the other day, I don't know, I watched a video and someone was asked or was mentioned their favorite, the greatest drummer singers of all time, and someone said Phil Collins or something of that nature. Dude, this guy is the best drummer singer of all time. You listen to this thing and just wrap your mind around to the fact that the lead singer is the drummer. The Stupids, Peruvian Vacation, a classic. Another classic. This is all classics. Let me take a sip. It's Friday. I had a tough week. Hailing from Japan, an absolute classic band. Stallen, Stop Jap, their second album from 1982 on Climax Records. This is not hardcore. This is like, you know, I'll say pure punk, Japanese punk rock. But if you need, if you're one of those that like some historic facts about the bands that might prompt you to go seek and listen, what's his name? Michuno Endo. The guy that formed this band at the time, he formed the band in 98, if I'm not mistaken. At the time, he was already a 32-year-old guy, which, if you go back in time, if you're 32 in 1980, you were almost a senior citizen. Now, 32 is a new 18, so we're looking good here. So when he formed the band, so he was already 32, Japanese guy, a Vietnam vet, and an activist. So this record is like pure punk rock, no thrills. You know, I don't know a word of English. I don't understand the shit of Japanese, but you can, you can feel like you can feel that there is like a urgency, like whatever is singing about, there's like some sentiment into it, and their musicianship is fantastic. Classic. Stallen, Stop the Jap, or Stop Jap. Next one up, it's for me, top 5 best early American hardcore albums of all time. Necros, Conquest for Death. This is not the original. This is a comp from I bought this back in the 90s. This is some sort of bootleg, but sounds fantastic. And it does compile the Conquest for Death, songs from the Process of Elimination, Sex Drive, and more stuff. Pretty much everything. This is fantastic. I've seen so many videos highlighting the top 10 American hardcore albums of all time, and this one is often left out. You know, I do like Cro-Mags, love Bad Brains, and a lot of all the New York hardcore. But come on, this This is by far a top 5 American hardcore album. Absolute classic. Do yourself a favor, if you're not familiar, listen to this. Came out in 1983, was the first band signing with Touch and Go Records, and that alone should speak volumes. Back to Japan, which I spent a lot of time this week, not in Japan, but listening to Japanese music. This is an absolute banger. This is Rose Rose, Mush of Ass. This is, the original press came out in 1987 on Dogma Records, but this is European, I'll say European first issue release. Came out in 1988 on, I don't know, In Your Face Records in UK. This is fantastic. This is like skate rock, trash, borderline grindcore. Again, extremely well played. Some bizarre, chord variations. It's another record that you cannot skip through it. You really need to put yourself through the suffering of listening to this record. It's a banger. Rose Rose, classic Japanese hardcore. Now staying away from the hardcore, great LA band, the Lazy Cowgirls. This came out in 1985 on Restless Records. Often described as punk and roll. I will describe them as if the Blasters were a punk band, they will sound like this. It's a great band, catchy. If you like 77-ish punk rock and you like rock and roll, you'll love this record. They have a decent catalog, but this one takes the cake for me. The self-title, it's fantastic. Check it out. The Lazy Cowgirls. Next one up, the debut of the Australian Aussie heroes, the Cosmic Psychos. This came out in 1982 on Mr. Spaceman Records. Fantastic record. Prog, psych, garage, punk, rock and roll, noise, you name it, it's all in here. This is a wall of sound, vicious sound. Classic, you need this in your life. The Cosmic Psychos, fantastic. One of my favorite Californian bands, and God knows why these guys never put out a full length. But this is Los Olvidados. Listen to this, the original recordings from 1981, 1983. This came out, I believe, like early 2000s on Alternative Tentacles, maybe 2000, 2001, 2002. If you don't like skateboarding, don't let this cover fool you. It is indeed one of those bands, within that JFA, Agent Orange, Drunk Engines, skate rock vibe. They were featured on the Trash Magazine cassette tapes and all that stuff. But this is like finest Southern California, early 80s punk rock. It is beautiful. Check them out. You will not be disappointed. It's a must. Three more. Controversial record, but I decided to pull this one out today because not too long ago I was planning on jumping into a thread that was going around. It was like showing your favorite cover illustrations, and this will be one of it. But it's, anyways, US Chaos. We got we got the weapons. This came out on Chaos Records in 1984. You know, this band was probably the first American band embracing, not embracing the oi sound, but referring to themselves as a oi street punk band. They are, because they're still playing, from New Jersey, from Bergen County. They got some heat because they were, a pro-American band, anti-communist band. And you guys know how it is within subcultures. They're always, we are our worst enemies, always trying to pick the petty battles that don't take anyone anywhere. I love this record. This just sounds like 70s melodic punk rock. The lyrics, they're not, there's no lyric sheets. There's nothing about their lyrics that I can, they'll push me away from this. I don't listen to music that appeal to any sort of prejudice. I'm apolitical. I don't stand for any side. I think they're all crooks. But these guys are like, you have to put things in context. Early 80s America, Cold War, all that shenanigans. It was all that stuff that was going on. It was pretty, normal for a band to, to be proud from being from the land of the free, and being scared and misinformed about what was going on. And probably they got a lot of, they were fed with, the media was pushing along the ways back then. But instead of singing against what everybody was singing against, they decided just to sing about being proud of being American, And they even, I read an interview that the lead singer said that they were actually singing about what these, state figureheads from third world countries were doing to their own people. So there's not explicit racism, nothing like that. It looks like I'm trying to defend them too much. They don't need that. Great. Go to YouTube, listen to the song Bits and Pieces. Catchy, fantastic. Most likely the first American oi band. Next one up, early British punk. This is a compilation on Bean Liner Records from 2005. Great label. They do a great job putting together like rare 7 inches, and also digging some demos and home recordings, and they did a great job with this. This is The Plague, X Tapes, 1976-1981. The Plague, they do have one single 7-inch, but called In Love, if I'm not mistaken. But my favorite tunes by them are here, which are On the Doll, Again and Again, and Nightmares, and Come Together, which was the demo. This is like classic 77 British punk rock. If you like the Cortinas, if you like the Users, if you like the Rings, you love the Plagues, fantastic. Check them out. And last but not least, a record that should not need introduction, 1985 ADK Records. This is a masterpiece. Gauze, fuckheads. Gauze were a band, hardcore band from Japan. They're proud themselves to not align with anything or anybody, just being about being themselves. So they were pretty outspoken, about about the division within the punk scene and all those cultures, all those cliches. They were an anti-fashion band. Their sound is like brutal hardcore. This is my favorite. This is the first. Is raw. Is mind-blowing when you listen to this record. You let yourself go and listen to this record in its entirety, and it really sounds like these guys just got into the studio. They record this thing in a tape recorder, recorded, and it's mind-blowing, the energy that transpires, you know, the angst, like, yeah, it's mind-blowing. Classic. Gauze for cats. Hope nobody fucks their own head this weekend. I hope you guys have a great weekend. Again, send feedback my way. Have a great weekend. Cheers.